name is Stefan Salinas. I'm the author and illustrator of the Sacramental Father Dom. It's a weekly webcomic that I post every Tuesday. It consists of about 60 episodes, give or take a few. But now we're at episode 13, In a Museum. Let me walk you through the creation of such a scene, as well as give you a little background information on the series as a whole. Let's go. Along with a notebook of anonymous interviews of priests and people that work with them, I have various source materials, a notebook full of more information. I have, even though I have it all on my computer, I have the full text printed out, so still making adjustments. And then through the years, since 2011, various notes, sketches, and ideas in my journals. This is my color-coded storyline. I can add or subtract, move around each little scene. It is 4.5 months of Father Dom's life, and it is set in 2014-ish. Now I say ish because I want it to be shortly after Pope Francis was installed, but a year in which Easter is the latest. So I'm basing the dates on the liturgical calendar of 2011. Our current scene is here, the 26th of January. We're in my art studio right now, which is a little bit in disarray. But that's okay, because I'm in good company. And we begin with the script. Very important. I've been working on these scenes for about 7-8 years, so there's been a lot of writing and rewriting and rewriting and rewriting. And so we begin there. The story is set in the fictional Northern Californian city of Santa Rita. The settings are inspired by actual places I've been or found online. But in this scene, it's occurring more in his head. See, he's speaking directly to the reader, thinking directly to the reader, and the paintings there are help us understand the concepts he's trying to convey. It's important to get the pacing down. I want to have each page be very economical. You don't want to explain too much visually or too much with words. You want to leave some to the reader's imagination. And you want to keep the pacing such that each page kind of has at least one main idea. You don't want to get it too cluttered in each page. So. These are now the 6 pages, well, sketches for the 6 pages, how I want them finally on the page. This one I already did in advance. I did some of the final artwork before I launched the series. Famous Velasquez, famous Botero. This is Sister Rose, one of the characters in the story. She's the sister of the presentation, so they don't wear a veil these days. She's having a fun little conversation with Sister Wendy, who's a famous television art critic. Down here, this is the second cameo of the Brewster sisters, a hidden little cameo. They're from the film and play Arsenic and Old Lace. It's a story about 2 women that invite lonely older bachelors over and they poison them, one of them being a priest. After working out each composition with a sketch, I then carefully trace over this and transfer it to the final paper with a good old-fashioned sheet of charcoal rubbing. I use artist crayons, colored pencils, ink, and acrylics.
because it had artificial flavors and food colorings. But at breakfast time, Esther says her mom allowed her one solitary, sugary exception.
So I wasn't encouraged to have sugary cereals unless possibly her or my father had them growing up. So it's kind of that nostalgic allowance.
A nostalgia.
A chalice. There are many chalices and glasses of wine in this series. For a second layer of paper, I usually add it and put them together in Photoshop, but for tiny pieces like this, I just glue them with Yoo-hoo. And now it's time to scan the artwork. I use a Canon Lide 220. Seems to do the trick. This is page 4 of the scene. We had the painting. Here's Father Frank crawling out there. He's speaking to us. Again, this is all in Father Dom's mind. I was going to move this over, so I copied and pasted that. I'm going to still move the text. Half of what Father Frank says here is an actual quote from a priest. There are many lines that I've directly taken from the mouths of priests and people that work with them in this story. Compositions help tell the story. On the upper left, we have a famous painting by Robert Indiana. It says, "A father is a father," about biological fathers. And then in the center, we have our hero, the priest, Father Dom. And then in the lower right, we have a biological father tickling his daughter. In contrast, a few pages later, we have a painting by John Bagnon-Bernès called "The Favorite Priest." And then in the center we have another priest, and then at the bottom it says, "Stay away from my kids." Okay, this is really low tech, but to save some paper and printing inks, I then trace out where the speech bubbles will be from the screen. I use a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen, small. Don't know why, it seems to work well. Veggies from the fridge, rice noodles, and sardines. I just made up a new dish! Next is the process of reformatting all the images so that way they can fit on the 3 different websites I post. So after I format each of the episodes and post them up, that's it. Then they appear on Tuesday. Just to let you know, the fonts I use are my own writing. It's with this program called fontifier.com. Very easy to use, reasonably priced. And let's see. Well, tomorrow morning I have to wake up for my day job.